How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTCReaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, it does look like we are retracing a little bit as crypto pushes up. Usually that is the result. Remember, Dixie usually is inverse to crypto. Momentum does want to round. We do have a red dot. That VWAP is breaking bullish, but it does look a little weak as it's starting to already pull back, causing that money flow to drop away. So if lower time frames continue to favor bearish, it's likely we could see that MPP target of pulling back into our previous channel. Over on Bitcoin dominance, it does look like we are seeing a continued rejection here, so this is positive for our altcoins to run against Bitcoin. Remember, if dominance goes down, Bitcoin can still go up. See today. That just means our altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin, and ideally we make this lower high with a lower low, break that point of control, and possibly see a little bit lower dominance. That way our altcoin rally can be very strong. VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is dropping, money flow is pulling back, so the daily doesn't look too positive. Over on the 1 hour, that VWAP is about to break down again, so if that VWAP makes another rejection and we see lower highs and lower lows continue in this range, then it's likely we would continue lower, and again, that would be positive for total. Over on total for the daily, we are seeing a bit of a push up. We did push up to our midpoint of our MPP, so I would still watch for a lower high, because if we still see a rejection in this range, we could still come back down and retest that 936 again. But if we continue to push forward, maybe seeing some sideways action here, consolidation, that would be positive, as consolidation could create a bull flag to push us forward. Our stochastic, and it would also solidify this as a support level. We do have some price ranges back here, but we don't want to just blow right past all this action. Otherwise, we could repeat back here, where we just shot straight up and then came back down pretty quick. Remember, when you shoot for the moon, usually you do run out of gas and come crashing back down. So stochastic does want to push up, VWAP is pushing forward, momentum does want to gain strength, and money flow is in the bullish territory. This does look positive on the daily. Watch for that to continue on lower time frames. Over on the 1 hour, we have higher highs and higher lows. We tried to consolidate a bit, and then we broke forward, much like Bitcoin. Momentum does want to round, stochastic is dropping, RSI is starting to pull back, and that VWAP is in bearish territory, but the wave isn't very strong. What I would watch here is if that VWAP rejects and makes a lower low. If we see a lower high with a lower low, then I would be more concerned. But if that VWAP breaks that neutral and pushes forward, we could continue forward. Our MPP does say there's a high chance of seeing a lower low. If we see that lower low, that's where we're going to retest that 936 and potentially continue lower. But again, that depends on that VWAP favoring bearish. Right now, the VWAP does look like we could see some sideways momentum on VWAP. Make another bull flag here, go sideways like back here, and then maybe repeat that trend and continue forward again, maybe to like the 105, 107 trillion area. So over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we are still pushing away from our channel. We did not delete this channel after we covered it, so there we go. So we do still have a potential lower high I would watch, but the max gain here is like 153k. As on futures, on Bitcoin it's like 118, but I would watch. Ideally, you're not going to get the max up either, so I would watch in those ranges, maybe sell off a little in 118 if you're thinking that's one resistance, and maybe 150 if your word will break away from 150. So it kind of depends on how you think the market's going to go. Don't have everyone tell you. Everyone's calling for like $1 million Bitcoin and stuff, but they're saying it depends on this or this or this or this, so there's a lot of conjecture, not a lot of evidence. VWAP does want to push up, momentum is gaining strength, money flow is pushing forward, so overall we do look positive. Over on the 1 hour, we are getting higher highs and higher lows, so as long as this continues, like our MPP says we could, it does say we could pull back to the 98k, and then that'd be a higher low. Ideally, we would continue forward and retest that 100k and break it. There is a 63% chance that we do push to about 102k. That could be after we make a pullback. That would be after that MPP possibility, though. So I wouldn't bet on it too much, because remember, once you start seeing that second possibility, that first one becomes a little less probable. Stochastic does want to pull back, RSI is dropping, momentum is rounding with a red dot as that VWAP breaks down. So if that VWAP continues to favor bearish here and gets lower lows and lower highs, momentum will break down, money flow will start to sell off, and we will see futures start to drop away, maybe retrace some of our gains, but that doesn't look too probable right now. VWAP is just breaking into bearish territory. Again, we could make that higher low, watch that 98K. If we push off there and bounce and that VWAP reverses, then I would say we would continue forward. If we break that 98K and that VWAP is favoring more bearish, then that's where I'd worry more to bearish scenarios and watch these like 90K buy-ins that we have here on Bitcoin. So over on Bitcoin, we did call a bull flag in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, hit the like, hit the subscribe, join us in the Discord. It's in the comment or in the description down below. Stochastic does want to push up, VWAP is gaining strength, momentum is pushing forward, and money flow is bullish due to that VWAP holding bullish. So overall, the 1 hour does look positive. Just watch because we have several days of green action. Usually when you get several days of green, you do see some consolidation or a pullback. So just keep that in mind as well. Over on the 1 hour, our MPP gives us a 50-50% chance. So there's a 50% chance we'll make a higher low, 50% chance we'll break that support. So MPP is not too useful there. Momentum is pulling back though, stochastic is dropping. We do have a double red dot on that VWAP, or on that momentum as that VWAP breaks down. Watch that VWAP close. If it gets stronger lows, then momentum will break down, money flow will reject, and higher time frames would weaken. That would make us sell off. However, if that VWAP pushes back up, this could be a higher low compared to here, and then if we follow it with a strong wave like back here, then we could see another leg up still, making the bounce off that channel. Again, watch at 98, 97K range in this case. Remember, futures trades at a little higher than Bitcoin sometimes, so I would watch just slightly lower for Bitcoin. Over on graph for the daily, we did see a very quick push up toward that 26,424, so that is positive for us, but our MPP does say we may pull back. It's a higher low, so that would be positive because pulling back, making a higher low, and then continuing forward would help solidify this range, give us a little bit of sideways momentum, and not shoot straight up. Remember, when you see these quick moves up, usually you do get a quick move down. Stochastic does want to push up, RSI is gaining strength, VWAP is running up, momentum is gaining strength, and that money flow is well in the green, so the daily does look pretty positive. Over on the 1 hour, we have higher highs and higher lows, so we do have a bullish continuation, I believe, as it doesn't look like they connect too well. We could draw that quick, so yeah, they don't connect too well, so I would call this a bullish continuation. That could help push us forward and break that 26,424, but that VWAP needs to recover into bullish territory and hold with a strong wave like back here. If it breaks bullish, makes a weak wave, and then we see some bearish favor, then that's not going to really help those higher time frames. Momentum does want to round away. Money flow is starting to pull back, but if that VWAP can push up, making a short wave here, then we do have that chance for a stronger wave. Watch for confirmations. Ideally, we would break that 26,424, maybe see some consolidation in that range, and then we could continue forward. Remember, our MPP, or our value area high, is right around that 29 cents, and that 29 cents is a very strong consolidation range here, so that would be our next major area after breaking that resistance, providing we can break that. So over on Anchor for the daily, it does look like we have MPP is a little confused here. Looks like we want to go up, we want to go down, doesn't know where it wants to go. Based on back here, it says we could have gone to that 4621, but we did reject that 4049. So the MPP does say with that rejection, we may see a retest of that 3767, and then if we break that, we could continue lower. That would still be a higher low though, so if followed by a higher high, we could still push forward from that. Stochastic does want to push up, RSI is gaining strength, that VWAP is in bullish territory, pushing momentum higher and giving money flow strength, so overall that does look positive, providing we don't see some retracements on these lower time frames. Over on the 1 hour, that VWAP is bearish again. That wave's not very strong, so don't just freak out just because we're in bearish territory. It does look like we're kind of going sideways with that VWAP, which could mean we could make some consolidation here, make a bull flag, and then continue forward, just like we saw on some of our other coins today. So over on XRP for the daily, we do still have some sort of a descending triangle that could be going on here. Not going to completely shoot that out yet. I would watch. Ideally, we would continue, break this channel, get higher high. Once we get higher high, then we could call it a bullish continuation or an attempt to make a bullish continuation because we don't have higher lows yet. If we pulled back, let's say pulled back, hit this like support level of our triangle and then continued forward and broke beyond the high we're at now, then we would have some sort of a bullish continuation that could form as long as the highs and lows don't connect. VWAP does want to push up, momentum is gaining strength, money flow is pushing up, stochastic is running up, and RSI is pretty strong. So overall, the daily does look positive. Again, just watch those lower time frames. Over on the 1 hour, we did get a retest of the top of our triangle, so that is positive because that retest does show that we did make a bounce. So if we can get that high at that 254 like our MPP says, then we could get bullish continuation here, and that could start to push us forward away from this pattern. Stochastic is pulling back, momentum is rounding with a green dot, so that is positive, signaling VWAP does want to break forward. We have a very short low, like we're saying to watch for on our rest of our coins. So if we can stay bullish here and get a strong wave like back here or back here, momentum will remain bullish, money flow will remain green, and that will give us that continuation to the upside, invalidating that pattern. Remember, no pattern's 100%. That's why you trade on breakouts and confirmations, not just jump in because you have a feeling. So over on Algo for the daily, last but not least, unless you have a special request, we are trying to push up, but we're getting stuck at our midway MPP, and our new MPP does say there's a 75% chance of pulling back to that 34.65, but that could make a higher low and help continue us forward if it's followed by a higher high or bullish momentum. VWAP does want to push up, momentum is gaining strength, money flow is in the green, so overall we do look positive on the daily. Over on the 1 hour, we have higher highs. We are trying to make some higher lows, so I would watch. This action is a little weird here, but the highs and lows don't really connect, so it could be a bullish continuation to help push us forward. The MPP does say there's a high chance of pulling back to the 37, so I would exercise caution, because if we saw that pullback, that would make a lower low, and then we could create a bearish trend from there. Momentum is starting to pull back. That VWAP does want to break that neutral, but it looks like it's starting to reject, so that's very important, because if we reject and make consistent lows, momentum will continue down, money flow will start to weaken, and higher time frames could be in jeopardy if that money flow breaks into the red and holds for several hours. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like and subscribe, and join us in that Discord.